What is up, you guys? It's New Age Bohemian, and today we're talking about the Rastafari. Rastafari is a religion, a belief system, and a group of people that started in Jamaica. But before I get started with the whole overview of the religion, the purpose of today's video is mostly to understand that there are so many different belief systems and religions, and sometimes we have prejudgments and we ridicule these religions without really understanding that some of these things that these religions teach are actually useful no matter what religion you are or what belief system you are, or if you're even an atheist. Many times these religions have really good deep meanings that can help us learn in these magnificent ways to open our minds and to not always read what's on the front page. So I took a little bit of time, and it's been a little bit of process, but I tried to understand what we can use and what I could use and what I have been using to make my life better using these little tips and tricks that the Rastafari people believe in. So to begin, I want to give an overview of how the religion started. The Rastafari religion started in Jamaica in the 1930s, and it's an African-centered religion. They believe that there is no afterlife. They believe that hell is Jamaica and that there is a part in Africa that is the heaven for them. And this religion really became relevant because they felt very suppressed by their white superiors on that time. So the religion actually kind of came out to be because of racism. Many people think that Rastafari is this absurd thing that only smokes weed and they only believe in growing out their hair and being dirty, but it's actually not. They are actually a Judeo-Christian religion, which means they are much like most people in America who are Christian or Jewish. Therefore, they are not that different from us. They believe mostly in the Old Testament, and they don't believe in the New Testament, and they don't believe that Jesus Christ is the Savior. Instead, they believe that the Emperor of Ethiopia, Haile Selassie, is a god, and he was reincarnated into God, and then he came over into Jamaica in the 30s, and the day that he came, it actually rained after a 2-year drought. And ever since he was crowned emperor, they believed that he was God in reincarnation. This whole Rastafari movement started to come into light because they believed there was a second John the Baptist incoming called Marcus Garvey. He taught that there would be one day a king that was African and that he would help these enslaved and these suppressed Africans in Jamaica to be able to come back to their homeland in Africa. And this god became to be Haile Selassie. The religion wasn't very popular in the beginning, and it was mostly condensed to Jamaica, and it was mostly only Jamaicans that believed it. But because of a very popular figure that you all must know, Bob Marley, when Bob Marley became a Rastafari, he began to spread the word and he began to popularize it. And then that's when the idea of Rastafari came into the United States, and it spread all over the world with his attitude and his joy and his peace and his love that he shared through his music before his tragic death. So now that we kind of understand the backstory of the Rastafari movement, I know it was kind of brief, and if you guys want to know more about it, or you guys want me to do an in-depth video about the Rastafari religion, just leave a comment below and let me know. The belief systems of the Rastafari are very close, and there are things that I disagree with because they are a Judeo-Christian, and there are things in the Bible that I disagree with, but there are many things that they speak about and speak to light that Christianity doesn't really speak about. A very important part about the Rastafari movement and the Rastafari people is that they feel very connected to our planet. Something that in Christianity and in Judaism, they don't really talk about how the planet affects us. They are not vegan or vegetarian, but they try their best to restrict themselves from meat. So they try to eat as clean as possible. They will eat a lot of fruits and a lot of vegetables, which I think is something that is very good, because sometimes I know that not everyone can become vegan and not everyone can become vegetarian, even if it's the best options for your health and for the planet. But at least taking the initiative, and I started becoming vegan, and I started practicing more Buddhism and all these different religions that talk about how we are one with the planet, it changed my perspective on life, and it connects you more with the planet. So I think that's something that I praise the Rastafari movement for doing, because they really tell you you are one with the planet, and this can help you grow into a much better person and a spiritual being. The Rastafari people have a saying, and it's "my body is my temple," and I can't agree with that anymore. As I said repeatedly, our bodies is just part of our human experience, but it's an important one. Our bodies is our vessel to our consciousness, and we have to take care of it. They try not to practice in alcohol, smoking, not smoking cannabis. Yes, they do smoke cannabis, but let's make this clear and let's stop the stereotypes. Not all Rastafari smoke cannabis. They believe that you should try to keep your body as clean as possible and that you should really take care of yourself. And that's something that really isn't really taught in the Judeo-Christian realm of religion. They say to be clean and to try to stay as clean possible, because if you have a clean body, you have a clean soul. So I really do look at them, and that's a very positive thing that the Rastafari teach. One thing that people always know, and kind of because of the Bob Marley movement and everything, is that the Rastafari people are always upbeat and happy and they're always dancing. And this is actually very true. In their religious practices, they have drums, they have singing, they have dancing, and they have upbeat meditation when they are trying to get into this higher spiritual state or in this awakening state. And I think that's very beautiful. There's many religions that will chant, and there's religions and there's Buddhism and there's Hinduism. They all chant when they're praising, or they're trying to be at one with the universe. Dancing and praising and just singing and hearing the drums while you're dancing is such a fun thing, and it fills you with joy when you're praising the Lord or praising the universe or just enjoying the moment. It's an amazing thing that I think that some Judeo-Christians actually kind of look down upon, where it has to be 100% strict and you can't really praise in that sense. But it's an amazing thing how music and how this joy and love can come in and just take over as you're praising this universe. And then that leads me to my next thing. They are 100% for love. Their whole answer is just love everyone. If you listen to Bob Marley or any reggae, it's just love. Love your neighbor, love the planet, love yourself. It's just love. And there's nothing more important in this world than love. They want to be loved, and they show love in such an immense way with such beautiful emotions. If you ever talk to someone who's Rastafari, that it just makes your day, and it spreads love. So I think that's very important that we should use in our day-to-day lives, is just to be love and to reciprocate that love to everyone else. With that love, they also have a very good intention that everything's about you. Your religion, your spiritual being, it's all about you. So you have to find the best way to work. The Rastafari community knows that it's an individual thing, and searching for what makes you feel spiritually awakened is about you. And I think that's something that kind of Judeo-Christianity actually looks down upon, because many of these religions are, you have to follow it because you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that. And I believe that many of these religions are just looking at it from a wrong point of view. I think that these religions that embrace individuality within the religion are the ones that grow and make you feel the best. And it's just amazing how different people can take a different text and just make it beautiful in their own different way. They were a political group. In a sense, they did fight for political justice, and one thing that I like a lot is that they tried to teach people that not everyone was white in these books and in this Judeo-Christian realm. For one, everyone thinks of Jesus and they think of the image of Jesus and him white with the brown hair and with the beard, but Jesus wasn't actually white because he was from Israel, he was from the Middle East, he was actually tan, if not black. So they teach these people that not all these prophets that are in these drawings that the West made them seem to all be white. There were different races. Some of them were white, some of them were fair skinned, some of them were darker skinned. But if we would have grown, and if this society and this humanity would have grown with all these different colors and all these pictures in the Bibles, we would have never thought that black people were suppressed or should be suppressed. And nowadays Rastafaris believe that no one should be suppressed, and many times you'll see a Rastafari fighting for someone else's belief system, even if they don't 100% believe in it, because they believe that no one should be suppressed and that everyone deserves a right to be heard. Mainly because the Rastafari movement came from being suppressed by the English and by the rest of the West. As you guys can tell, I haven't said Rastafarian or Rastafariism. They don't like the ians or the isms because they believe it's grouping and they don't like it. So if you ever want to talk to a Rastafari or talk about the Rastafari movement, make sure you say Rastafari, because as someone who researched, I wouldn't want someone to say Rastafarian or Rastafarianism, because it's kind of insulting if they're asking not to be called that. So just a heads up, if you're trying to talk about the subject, be Rastafari. That's how they like to be talked about, because they don't like to all be grouped as one. So that's pretty much the video. I gave you guys the beliefs, the overview. I just want you guys to know that I hope this helped to bring you guys into light that not all these religions and all these belief systems that are so different actually are bad. Many of them are very good, and we can take things from each religion and help us grow into different people. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys check out last video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. Make sure you guys check out my links below and follow me on all my social medias. And I hope you guys have a great day.